All right, you guys, it's your girl Sandra D, the main event, and welcome to my channel and to my community of love and unity. We will not be talking about hair. We will not be talking about food. We are on the journey of talking about the narcissist. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting on? So we're going to talk about how the narcissist was able to get next to you. So the narcissist already had a plan. Okay, they already knew how they was going to run this game on you. But what they didn't know is how they were going to be able to get into your world and bring them in and bring you into theirs. So what they did was they were already watching you from the beginning. You just didn't recognize and understand that this was going on because they were hiding in the shadows so that you could not see them. Not yet, because they had to go and they had to mimic you and they had to mirror you. So what they were doing was actually studying you. Okay, how your swag is, okay, your personality, what makes you tick, in order for them to be able to come in to trick you. So what they did was they replica who you are, because you're destined for greatness and they seen you as an asset and they wanted to see how they were going to be able to tap into your blessings. Okay, so what did they do? They watched you, they studied you, and then they did this mirroring of you. Okay, so what do you do when you mirror somebody? Okay, you're copying what attributes that they bring to the table. Okay, so what they did was show you a reflection of who you are. They knew you were valuable. They knew you were priceless. They knew you were a treasure. They knew you was beautiful. They knew you had it popping. They knew you had it going on. They knew that your work ethics was bananas because you get the job done. Okay, and they wanted to be able to make sure that they could be able to extract those things that they're missing in their lives to be able to gain supply so that their demands of what they're looking for would be met. So what did they do? They presented themselves to you. Now you're thinking you're on the same level. You're thinking that you're on the same page. So you're like, okay, well, this person seems all right. So let me see if I want to take this a little further to get to know them. Okay, so what did you do? You know what you do when you get a package, somebody knocking on your door, you know, and you say, who is it? And then they say they such and such, and you'll look through the peephole, okay? Or you'll crack the door open a little bit, one or the other. This is what you did with the narcissist and what the narcissist was hoping that you were going to do. That you were just going to open that door just a little bit so that they could come in and be able to get you to open the door wide open. Okay, so now what they do in the love bombing stage, they just put together a nice little love potion for you. And they knew based off of the information that you gave to them when you was filling in the blanks, spilling the tea, kikiing it up with them, that they were going to be able to script this character that you could not deny. Because you told them in regards to your past relationships, some of the things that you went through and the things that you were not getting from your previous relationship. So what did they do? They filled the void. They made sure that everything that you told them that you wasn't getting, that you were going to get. Now, in order for them to be able to portray this person, they had to add in some of that flattery. They had to add some of those sweet nothings. They had to give you gestures, okay, that you required and that you said you needed. And they had no problems with meeting those requirements, because they knew that they were going to flip the script. Now, I want you guys to understand how this actually took place. And I want you guys to think of it in this capacity. When you go and you buy roses, okay, they're mostly closed, right? Depending on what type of roses you get. Some of you guys may like them already open, but for the majority part, they're mostly closed, right? And what do you need to be able to take care of those flowers? You need water, and then it comes with a little packet of solution. And what do? You open up those flowers, you take it, you remove the plastic from around it. If it has those little thorns, you make sure they're removed. And then you take your vase, you put the flowers in the vase, and you either had added water beforehand, or you put the flowers in first and then you added your water because you didn't know how much water it was going to take. One or the other, however you do your roses, okay? And what did you do? You had to have that packet of solution that needed to be able to be added to the flowers in the water for what? For the flowers to be able to get the nourishment that it needs, right? So this is what the narcissist did to you. They had this solution based off of the information that you fed to them. And they knew what was required of them to be able to give you what it is that you asked for. So in other words, they gave you a solution to your problem. So what did they do? They took that packet, they added it to the water, and what winds up happening? You sit your flowers to the side, right? And as time goes by, what happens to those flowers? They're closed, but then they begin to open. And when it begins to open, it gives off this beautiful, wonderful scent, right? This is what the narcissist did to you. They provided you a solution to your problem, and then they added all this in a nice little package, right? And then you signed for it because you did not see them as being harmful. You did not see them as being a threat. No, you thought that they were a solution to your problem. Now, what happens after time and your flowers, your roses, sit there? They begin to deteriorate. They begin to become weak and fall apart. And this is what the narcissist did to you. They knew that once they could get you to open up and your walls come down, and that you open yourself up to them and seeing them as non-threatening, but seeing them as someone that you could trust, that's when the nightmares began to happen. Because at this point, they did what they needed to do to trap you. Now, with an animal, a hunter that's hunting an animal, what does a hunter do? A hunter will put something into a trap that will make the animal see it as appeasing. And that animal will go right into what they see that's packaged for them to receive. But they don't see that it's a trap. And it's meant that way. Which is why when you went through that love bombing stage, you didn't see the trap. So when the animal went in and saw something that was appeasing to them, that's when they went to take the bait, and then they were trapped. Same principle of what the narcissist did to you. They gave you something appeasing. They gave you a solution to the problem that you said that you had in your past relationships. When you opened up, you spilled the tea, okay? And you was kikiing it with them, and you was drinking the tea with them. You had no idea that during this stage that you were in a setup, that you were about to become trapped. So once that had happened, this is when the narcissist started to flip the script on you. This is when the narcissist came in and started showing you their true colors of who they really are. Now, this threw you off because you like, where is this coming from? Now, they probably told you in that love bombing stage of some of the things that they went through. And some of the things that they went through could have been true, or it could have been from past relationships that they had with the supply, and that supply told them what they was going through, and they used that as a way to pull on your heartstrings. So the narcissist, when they're sitting here in that love bombing stage, it's not that they're just trying to get all the information about what makes you tick. No. They're going to come in and see how the heck they're going to run the tables on you without you recognizing and realizing that you are facing your enemy. The narcissist is a person who has been wounded and hurt as a child, and they have traumas that they have not dealt with themselves, which is why they have this alter ego that they have to protect how they're feeling, so that they are not connected to their emotions. This is their safeguard. So when you're in a relationship with a narcissist and you're seeing them as this wonderful person and that's saying all of these things to you, they're not connecting with you at all. They're just giving you a solution to the problem that you told them when you was kikiing up with them. So what does the narcissist do? They continue to run this game on you to get you into a position to where you will not leave. They want you to be addicted to them. They want you to come, just like I told you guys in the movie Coming to America with Vanessa Bell, when she said, whatever you like. So the narcissist is using certain tactics and manipulation to get you to be just like that character. Whatever you like. You know, if they tell you bark like a dog, arr, 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 what you gonna do? They're expecting for you to do that because that's their command. When they want you to hop on one foot, they expect for you to hop on one foot. And if they tell you to jump, they want you to ask them how high. Because this is a part of their manipulation to try to get you trapped into their world. So the narcissist is going to come to you to get information from you so that you do not see them as the threat. And they're going to portray themselves as the answer to your prayers. They want you to feel safe in their arms, safe in their presence, that they are here to protect you, that they are your knight in shining armor. And this is the portrayal that they do. They portray, themselves to be something that they're not. The mask is never going to stay. The mask was only there in order for them to pull you from your world into theirs so that they can manipulate and use you, so that they can abuse you, so that they can get the blessings that you have on your life, so that they can try to get some kind of relief from the suffered wrongs and pains and trauma that they went through as kids. So what winds up happening is once you begin to trust the narcissist and they see that you trust them, this is when they're going to start to abuse you, because they're using things that they went through as kids because they see this as love. They see this as love hurts. So I gotta hurt you. And yes, it's very dysfunctional. But you have to remember, a narcissist does know that that's not the case. But the narcissist feels that that's the case because of their trauma. And they're going to put you in their trauma that they experienced and trade places, like when they were a kid, how the adult had did to them. Now they're going to act like they're adult and that you are a reflection of who they were as a child, and try to make you jump through hoops to get everything that you said you wanted and get you to perform, which is why the mask has to come off. You remember when I was telling you guys about the rose illustration? Okay, once the rose goes through its process and it opens up and it gives up its scent, what winds up happening? It starts to turn brown. The petals start to fall apart. They start to wither. And the narcissist knew that as soon as you open up, that they were going to come in and tear you up. And what they were hoping for is that you would stay in the state of how a rose looks after it opens up and deteriorates. Because that's what a narcissist looks like. A narcissist is broken down, and a narcissist is broken. And they stay stuck in the past. They may be an adult on the outside, but their mentality is childish. Now, I know you guys probably heard the word, they were, I've seen a narcissistic injury. You didn't cause them no injury. They were already injured. The only thing you did was make them aware of something that they know they're not supposed to do, but instead of them seeing the correction in love, they seen it as you were trying to hurt them, like the people that hurt them in the past that was supposed to nurture them and love them. That fit that you see, that is something that they experienced as a child, but also on the flip side, they're seeing that their manipulation is not working. Now, there's a part of the relationship where you guys, you feel all drained and you like, I am very tired. Why am I so drained? Remember the illustration, that I gave you guys in regards to a fly that gets trapped on a spider web? What does that spider do? The fly is stuck and it's buzzing, it's wiggling, trying to figure out how it's going to get off of this web. And what does the spider do? Come up to the fly and spin its web to turn that fly over and over and over and over and over again. Why? Because it needs to bond it to stay on their web. So that when it's ready for feeding time, they're going to come and extract what they need from that fly. And this is what the narcissist was doing to you. The narcissist knew that they could not get to you unless they deceived you. The narcissist knew how long they were going to play this game. And the narcissist also had an end game. The narcissist was looking for someone to be able to serve him. So when he did all of these things, or she did all of these things, they were not expecting for you to leave. They wanted to have control and come in and out of your life as they please, so that they could continue to feed off of you. Feed off of your blessings. And cast all their insecurities, their low self-esteem, their hurts, their wounds, their suffered wrongs onto you. Now, they also knew that if that didn't work and you walked away from the relationship, they knew that they were going to do everything that they could to cast onto you their trauma bond, because they're still stuck in one. And if they could not have you in their lives, they wanted you to suffer like they were suffering, because they see you as someone that cannot be happy. It's not a realistic thing to them because of what they experienced. But what did you do? You shined a light on the narcissist and let them know that they were wrong. So you got the narcissist all twisted up and confused. Because the narcissist does know to a certain extent that what they went through wasn't right. But because this is how they grew up in a dysfunctional household, and it was a repeated offense, this is something that's installed in them. So they're not going to ever get to the other side if they don't properly heal. So when they meet you, they're just looking for some relief from that trauma that they went through. And what they're doing is trying to trade places. So that trauma bond that you went through, that ain't nothing but the narcissist trying to release onto you what they went through. And they figured that since they still stuck in that past pain and suffer wrong, that you're going to be stuck too. But what winds up happening? When you go through your healing, you're willing to go and face the man in the mirror, to face the truth. And is it hard? Heck yeah. It's very hard. But when you get to the other side of the rainbow, not only did you take your power, you took the narcissist too. Because now you got an offense and a defense. You understand not to take candy from a stranger. You understand not to talk to strangers. You understand not to be an open book. You understand not to spill the tea. And you understand that everybody that's friendly ain't your friend. You're still going to be you. You just a better version of you. But that narcissist, they will always be stuck in hell. And the reason why is because they are not going to do the work. They like to be unhealthy. They have supply to meet their demands only because they need a band-aid to have some kind of relief from the pain, from that hurt, from them suffer wrongs, from them wounds. They're not willing to get in and make sure it's clean with some peroxide, or making sure that there's some type of what you call it, some type of ointment that you're going to need. They're not going to understand you got to keep it clean, that it's going to be hurtful, but you're going to change the bandages. And after a while, that wound, what happens? It becomes less and less and less and less until there's no more. But a narcissist ain't going to do that. A narcissist is not willing to face that pain because it hurts. Hell yeah, it hurt. And we know it hurt because when they cast that junk onto us, we had to deal with it. And a narcissist, only thing they wanted to do was make you suffer because they're suffering. They only chose you because they knew that you were an asset, but they also knew that they were going to lose you as an asset. That's why they put you in a trauma bond. Because they didn't want you to get up. They thought that you was out for the count. They thought that they knocked you out. They didn't. So they're sitting over there in the corner crying, wounded, mad, and upset. But please understand that it's not your fault. That's the narcissist's fault. Because the narcissist knows better. So while you going through your healing and you on the other side, you don't give no second thought to that narcissist. You don't forget about the experience you went through, because that's your reminder that you are on defense and not just offense. That reminder is not so that so the narcissist can stay on your mind. Nah. Because when you walked away, the power over you, that was broken. Like I said, what this experience has done was level you up and took you to higher heights. So you didn't do anything wrong. How you gonna do something wrong and you was lied to and you was deceived and you was conned? It is not your fault on what happened. This was the narcissist's fault. But what this has taught you is that you understand that there's different types of evil, and not all evilness is going to be the same. That you're going to come across some people that's going to sit over here and lie and manipulate. But now that you've been through this experience, you know how the game goes and you know how to change it, because you're not participating in it. So this is how the narcissist was able to get close to you. I'll see you guys in the next video.